All right. There we go. Now let's see if this thing is back and ready to go. It's probably up on a different stream here. All right. Let's see. There we go. Is it? Are we there?
Hello?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Let's see if we can. Let's see if they can hear you. See if you can hear me.
Now,
I can
my
hear you.
speaker does say speaker is off.
It says speaker is off.
Says speaker off.
Okay, yeah, it's coming through now. It's coming through now.
Hello, everybody.
There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now let's just see if we can get everybody back up in this piece. There we go. All right. All right. Boom, we're back. Woo! Sorry about that, folks. See, I guess it wasn't me. It was you know what it was? It was Streamlabs. All I had to do was I just completely shut Streamlabs off and restarted it, and well, it ended the stream for whatever reason. That doesn't normally happen, but anyway, guys, thank you all so much for your patience, and thank you all so much for continuing to be here. Again, sorry for being late. Just kind of busy day. I'm sure you all have lives and families and stuff. Maybe you don't have a family, but you understand how life is. But anyway, what is up, Mike? How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here, my brother.
I'm doing great. And I will try this again. It's game day. It's game day. We're almost 6 hours to WandaVision episode 8. Does anybody have a good guess in chat? I can't see chat, but does anybody have a good guess of the length of episode 8? And does anybody think we're going to have a 2-hour movie for episode 9? Does anybody think we're going to get that secret episode 10?
Oh, what just happened there? Dude, what just happened? Hey, what the hell? What the hell? Hello?
Hey, it just the call ended at 8:50.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. Like, I was sitting here talking to you, and then all of a sudden it just shut off. And I'm like,
It changed screens on me. I didn't touch anything. So, I don't know what happened. You know what? We're under a hex.
It's the real life gremlins, yo.
We're under a hex.
Oh my god.
It was Agatha all the time.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Porter. It was Mike Porter the whole time. Dang.
What?
Oh man, dude, I don't even know. Okay. Anyway, whew, we're glitching. Well, I think it is Wanda. I think it is Wanda. Yeah, two boomers trying to stream. Oh man. Yes. So yeah, I'm curious about that too, because everybody's been speculating for days that like, oh, there's gonna be hour-long episodes. There's gonna and I know Josh this morning, I know he was getting ridiculous with it in the morning stream. He's like, dude, this movie could be 2 hours long, 2.5 hours. I'm like, dude, I know he's just wanting to trigger me and wanting me to say something.
Well, see, he's been on that he's heard a rumor that it's going to be that episode 9, not so much tonight, but episode 9 is going to be 2 hour long. I don't know where he's getting that. I know Josh knows things, and
Right.
Some of his rumors are true. I would love that, but I don't know if we're going to get that or not. Seems like to me that they would just continue. And am I off again?
No, you're good.
It seems like to me they would just continue the series, and maybe that's where the secret 10 comes in. Maybe we are going to get 2 hours for episode 9. I don't know, but whatever happens, they have packed in a real good show. I really did love episode 7. I've loved all the episodes. I know it's not hitting for everybody in the very beginning when they do the TV shows. I know for you and me, we really like that. For one thing, I'm nostalgia of those TV shows, and I know I'm going to get a Marvel Avengers level property, and we've seen hints of that now. And we know that by episode 9, we're going to get a battle royale, as Paul Bettany has told us. This episode might be some flashbacks. We might get some answers in this. We might see, where Agatha was the whole time, what she was doing, what Wanda was doing, how Wanda became. You're cracking me up.
I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at the chat, seeing what they're saying. I'm getting caught back up on the chat, and I'm dying. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm like, oh man, yeah, no, and that's with all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, like 2 hours. It seems ridiculous, but at the same time, it does seem like there's so much that's gotta happen in these next 2 episodes. And I think I'm with Trev here. When I think both episodes will probably end up being around 40 minutes. Plus credits, but I think we do need more than that. And I wanted to run this wild theory by you, since you were talking about this kind of battle royale getting ready to happen. And it occurred to me the other day, like, we've seen a lot of these things in the trailers and everything kind of going down, some of like the wardrobe people are wearing in the trailers and everything. And one of the things people are talking about that we still have, that we've seen in the in the trailers that we haven't seen in the show yet, is the part where we see Vision and Wanda there, and it looks like they're kind of outside, maybe talking to each other, and she says something about the town, and Vision says to her, well, let's fight for it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, everything considered, I started thinking about what if that's actually Vision challenging her to square off for the town, because she, at whatever point, doesn't want to let go of everything that she's doing. She wants to continue living in this reality. And he's like, no, you cannot continue doing this. We've got to let these people go. I have no clue where I am, because we even got all the indications that he has no clue of anything that's happened whatsoever before they got to Westview. It seems like he has no clue of anything. And that's what Darcy was filling him in on. So I started thinking, like, maybe everything that he's just kind of learned along this way, and everything that we've seen happen, maybe he's actually going to go to her and challenge her and be like, no, this has to end. And maybe they're actually going to battle with each other, and that's going to be something she can't avoid, because he's going to not let, he's going to not relent.
Yeah, that's that's going to be one thing, is, are they going to unify and work with each other? Or are they going to be at odds at each other? That's interesting to me. I would think that they would probably work together to take Agatha down. I mean, we're all speculating that she's working for somebody. But for right now, it's Agatha all along. So for right now, Wanda has been bad because she changed people's brains, basically, to play in a sitcom. And we know that when one of them came out, he totally freaked out. So we know that Wanda was bad because she's pretty much kept these people under her control without their consent. So Wanda bad right there. We know that Agatha has been doing it all along. And it's kind of like what I was saying is Wanda doesn't even know, when she was talking about during the Halloween series, she doesn't even know how she's doing it, but she knows she's doing it. And the way I look at it is right at the very end of the episode, she had that TV control on her. Now, you and I, we can control the TV. We can control pretty much, everything that you can on a TV. But we didn't make the TV. And I don't think she made the hex. And now everything is going crazy on her because she's thinking she can fix it, but she really doesn't. You know, she needs a mechanic. And basically, Agatha, it's been Agatha all along. She has thought, Wanda has thought this whole time and fed into it that she was controlling this the whole time when she's really not. She's being led by Agatha. So the question is will she join with Vision or will she be against Vision? So it's going to be interesting, and we know Monica's going to be there. I don't know what this Quicksilver will be. Uh, you know, it could end up he could have been controlled the whole time, and then he ends up working. It's going to be very interesting, and of course, everybody wants to add different characters like Wonder Man. You want Blue Marvel. There's just so much, and hopefully, we're going to get a little more answers today in episode 8. But I think even after episode 9, not everything will be answered, and it'll go right into Doctor Strange, perhaps, or, you know, we'll have implications, of course, in Spider-Man 3 as well. So, and probably will work in some ways with Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know, Kevin Feige has a plan. One of the strengths of the MCU is connectivity, and I can definitely see that's what's going on right now.
Definitely. And
that was a big word, connectivity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's connective tissue is what we're supposed to use. Connective tissue.
Oh,
right?
My bad.
Yeah, no, and yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there obviously we are getting ready for this epic showdown, and it is, and that's one of the kind of things that I've been on too. Like you're saying, is like this is really going to expand stuff. We're going to get like a certain closure to this story. But I think the way it's all going to happen is it's going to obviously spread into these other movies, especially I think, and especially you like with you've been talking about the cosmic microwave background radiation a lot, and I think that's really going to play more out in the Eternals movie that we've got coming up, where more of the other stuff that we see going on here will probably with her. Well, here's the thing is. We keep talking about this whole multiverse thing, which we know is definitely coming in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, obviously, and that's what I was kind of thinking about too when we got into, say, like Avengers Endgame when they did the time travel. Was that time travel or is that multiverse? Because if that was just time travel, like they were talking about in Endgame, right? We haven't really had any multiverse anything in the MCU yet. And that's what would be interesting with that. I mean, aside from, I don't know, I guess, because even like Doctor Strange in the first one was talking about different realities, not necessarily the multiverse, which I think this is really kind of like people keep talking about that, but we haven't really got much multiverse stuff here in the MCU really yet whatsoever. Out of all that, just the different realms and things. So, but it is going to be interesting seeing how that's going to expand forward here from the show. Definitely from the show. And let's see.
Yes.
See, we've got a lot of people being active here in the live chats. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Let's see. We've got Robert St. Clair. Says Wanda's blanket obviously has the hexagons on it, but they were weaved into each other. The hex is on top of each other, weaved into the other, layered. Not everything is as meets the eye. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I thought the exact same thing, Robert St. Clair, when I was watching that episode last week, because you could see all of that different stuff, and then you still saw the regular, like the diamonds for Vision in every once in a while, and kind of in between it all. Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Big Stevie says, I think you actually have it. Yeah, I think that's an element to it. I think Vision and Wanda are probably gonna fight for that kind of that hold over the town, if you will. Um, and let's see, there we go. Let's see. Beast, thank you so much for being here. Says, I'm beginning to think Tommy and Billy aren't real. In episode 6, Wanda tells them to not go past Ellis Avenue, where the hex ends. What if Wanda is worried they'll accidentally leave the hex and die? You know, I kind of feel that way too. I think there's definitely something to Billy and Tommy there. Maybe not necessarily that they aren't real, but there's definitely something. I can't say that you're wrong there because I do kind of agree with that. What do you think about that, Mike?
Okay, at that part, what was he saying?
He's saying, I'm beginning to think Tommy and Billy aren't real. He says, in episode 6, Wanda tells them to not go past Ellis Avenue, where the hex ends. What if Wanda is worried they'll accidentally leave the hex and die?
Yeah, well, see, that is the big question. We know in the comic books that, is it Mephisto, uses their shards or whatever and
Right.
then brings them back. Mm-hmm. So that is the question. And then also, what is going on when she came in episode 7 and Agatha or Agnes was babysitting them and then they were gone? She says they were in the basement. Someone has said, are they trapped in that book? Or have they been figments the whole time? And Agnes just wants yo magic. I mean, it's a great question. I think that's one that we've asked the whole time because, of course, it's been crazy. She got pregnant at the very end of episode 2. The baby bump just appeared. And then 3, we see the birth. And episode 4, they're growing. I'm surprised we haven't seen another age up because I would think that to get their full power, that Agatha wanted them to age up. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And I think that is one of the ones that we're guessing about, along with the other questions that we have.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. Something else I wanted to bring up too with the kids and them having powers is, because we kind of it seems like we got evidence that they had powers in the show, which makes me kind of question if the kids are real, because we did see in episode 4, by the time they were there and they aged up, when with Sparky, to see how old do they have to be to have a dog. And Vision says, oh, what was he said 10 years old, right? Did he say 10?
Right.
He says 10 years old. So they aged themselves up to be 10. So they're 10 years old. And then in the very next episode, which arguably the way time goes in this series so far, you could easily argue that maybe they aged up a few years in that time, but they look the exact same. One of the things I want to say is mutants, if they are mutants, their powers don't manifest until they reach adolescence, usually around 13. And so I'm like, these kids shouldn't have powers in the first place. Now,
that's true.
If Wiccan, if he's really a witch and all of that, I mean, he could use witch powers if he knows magic. I mean, anybody could use magic if they know how to wield magic, but he wouldn't have mutant powers, which was something I was starting to think of. So I was like, huh, how is? But we seen Speed even running around. I'm like,
well, the weird thing about that is if you remember at the end of the Halloween episode, which I guess that's episode 6, she asked Wiccan, what's going on, and to focus. And so she actually needed his powers, for him to tell where his father is. So, I think that's very interesting, too. If they didn't have any powers, then why is she asking him to use those powers? So, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's the $1 million question. The guess would be is that maybe they're not real, but she might make a deal and they will be real because we do believe that they might be in another team going forward, the Young Avengers going forward, which we're starting to already get a team together. If you just piece together the projects that are happening and the projects that have happened in the MCU as far as the movies go. And that's what everybody's guessing, that Wiccan and Speed will be a part of that. So that is the $1 million question. And now
Definitely.
we're less than 6 hours away from episode 8.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I know. And times like I keep thinking about it, I'm like, oh man, like the night's getting a little bit long here, you know, gotta get to sleep soon so I can wake up and watch it in the morning. Cause like I'm not like some of you guys, man. I'm not like one of those troopers out there, man, like y'all that can go and do this thing pull the all nighter and be there for the watch party that Den of Nerds does with the Nerd Vengers, man. I'm sleeping, man. I'm sleeping. I need my beauty sleep. Look at this face. Doesn't this face look like it needs its beauty sleep?
Well, I'm an old dude, so my problem is you know, when you get older or you're overweight or whatever your problem is, sometimes you need a CPAP machine, and to figure out how to get 4 hours in this time is impossible because you know I usually hang out with Burke and then I hang out with you, then I hang out with the Den, and then Will is going about midnight or 1 o'clock my time. I want to watch it at 3 o'clock. I want to show up at the Den, and yeah, I don't know how I don't know. I don't know how you sleep. But I tell you what, this is part of the culture thing that I thought it was great. I went on Landon Dube's show on Twitch, and we talked about the culture, and we brought you up that, you know, yes, when you're sitting there looking at, when you're talking about WandaVision, even from episode 1, you were freaking out. You were so animated, and I could actually see the gears on your forehead move and everything. And you know, Will Morgan bringing out the there you go. Will Morgan bringing out the tarot cards and
Yes,
everything.
love
I
it.
mean, Kevin Feige has got to absolutely love the speculation and the love that we are showing. And it really is. I like college football, and this has really become each week. We know for 9 weeks our team is playing on the field, and we
Bermuda,
all get
baby.
excited about it. Uh-oh. And
Or
then afterwards, we sit there for a couple of days.
yeah. 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 Oh. Okay, now they're saying the sound again. Dang it. The sound again. Okay. Is it is the sound back now, guys? Dang, I know.
Hello?
I know. I shouldn't have messed with anything. I shouldn't have messed with anything. Okay. Okay, give him another mic check, Mike. Let's see
Hello,
if it works.
everybody. Can you hear your favorite Porter? Can you
Oh
hear
man.
Mike Porter?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hey, it's SpongeBob. Or,
Oh man.
or Or how about this with my Southern accent? I sell propane and propane accessories. Dang it, Bobby.
Oh man.
Can anybody hear that?
It must have been because I switched scenes there. I switched the scenes in it, and it took it out. I don't know, man. This thing, what's funny is it must just be Streamlabs messing up right now. I've heard that YouTube has been messing up for a lot of people here today as well. It's been messing with a lot of people, so I don't know, man. I'm just gonna stop pushing buttons. We'll just go till the end of the show. Oh man, yeah.
But I was just saying how I'm excited about everything that's going on. That this feels like a college football thing. We're having our tailgate right now, or our pep rally. We're all excited. All the nerds have been enthralled about this. You can go to any site, you can go to any stream, and you know that everybody has an opinion what's going on. Everybody has questions, and you know Kevin Feige loves this. And I don't know if the audience heard, but I just heard that Disney knew Eternals was going to be good, but they're now saying they didn't think that it would be that good. So the whole thing is exciting. You know, we've got episode 8 and 9 here. We've got Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then we go into Loki.
Yes.
Somehow, Trinity, somehow we're going to get Black Widow. Come on. We're going to do it.
I was getting ready to ask you that too, Mike. Do you think that maybe the announcement of Loki was to kind of brush over the fact that they have completely ignored Black Widow? They haven't said anything.
Well,
I
think they're supposed to have a little bit of rest before Loki, and they may put Black Widow in between that and try to do the theaters, because I hear more theaters are opening now. Yeah. Here in Georgia, they've been open till May. No one goes to them because guess what? I mean, unless you're going to see Liam Neeson, there's no big draw. And of course, Marvel will be a big draw. You know, the vaccine is coming out more and more. So hopefully, I don't know if we're going to be ready for May, but if they don't, then it's time to take it out at Disney Plus. Go ahead and release it, and then hope you can get some of the theater goers, especially if they're opening up in different areas.
Yeah.
And then, see, I heard because of Loki that they might push back Shang-Chi, but that was a rumor. I think I heard that from Stormy. I'm not sure, but think about everything that we're getting here. And the thing of it is look, I know everybody knows that I'm an MCU stan, and I am.
Have a good one, Big Stevie W. Go on.
What's that?
Oh, I was telling Big Stevie W to have a good night.
Oh, okay. Bye. Have a nice night. Remember to watch WandaVision, episode 8. Have fun. But you know, the thing of it is, everybody thinks I'm an MCU stan and everything like that. And I am. MCU rules. But I do love DC Comics. And I do like the DC movies. I thought that Superman and Lois was nice TV. It was a nice show. And I think it has a lot of potential. But the thing that I didn't like was after we had DC Fandom with all these promises, now they're not even filming half of these projects. And Disney is not doing that. Another thing, in Canton, Georgia, and it was funny, I wrote it in a stream, and it you know, because it sounds like a Chinese name, someone said Canton. But here in the South, we just say Canton. But in Canton, Georgia, they are filming Hawkeye. And nice. Jeremy Renner is there. And what was her name? Haley whatever?
Steinfeld? Yeah.
Yeah.
Steinfeld?
And then also who is the girl that's probably going to be the next Black Widow? Q or something like that.
Oh yeah. Well, all of a sudden I forgot her name all of a sudden, but I'm sure somebody will
Yeah,
let us know in the chats.
she's there too.
Yeah. Oh,
So
interesting.
it's very
Interesting.
exciting.
Hmm.
I'm they just keep excuse me, Marvel just keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're not slowing down. They're not slowing down. Aggressively relaxing says, I think a bunch of magic users were reacting to something, and this whole thing is an accident. Agatha, Dottie, Wanda, Herb, and all magic users trapped. They were sitting there with their magics, like playing around. Oh man,
I love it.
Aglax, you're the best, man.
They're
Beast.
trapped inside the TV.
Yeah, it could be. Like I said, it's I don't know, man. Like all I know is I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped to see these next couple of episodes. I don't think any of them are gonna be over an hour long, but man, that'd be so great if it was. That'd be so great if they were. Um, Beast says in the comics, Agatha is not even close to as powerful as Wanda is. I personally think Agatha was in Westview before Wanda came there. Agatha is personally absent. That Wanda bothered her. Yeah, I think Agatha was, aside from her manipulating things, I think she was just kind of there, also training Wanda in how to use her powers. I kind of explained that here over these past couple of weeks. How every time you see her, she's there facilitating whatever it is to help Wanda use her magic powers even more. Trev says, how many characters added would be too many characters for this? I don't know, Trev. I've kind of said from the start, I think a lot of these series are going to introduce us to at least 4 characters that are going to continue on into the MCU in some sort of way. So, and so far in this series, I mean, we've already got a couple. So, there could actually be more. I mean, how many people are going to make it out of this series and carry forward? Is kind of the big thing. Obviously, we've got Monica. Is this going to be Agatha Harkness only show that she's in? I kind of want to say I doubt it. I kind of want to say that I hope she shows up again somewhere. Jimmy Woo's going to show up again, but again, we didn't get introduced to him through this show. But I think we're going to get other characters that will continue on as well.
I mean, that's a good point. I don't think that we are, everybody's like, is Blue Marvel coming? Is Wonder Man coming? And what's his brother's name? That's the villain.
Yeah, Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper, and that's a good point. I think we might get one new character. I think from here on out, I think you've got what you've got. I don't. And I don't think we're going to get Mephisto. We may be hinted at a big bad, whether that is Mephisto or Nightmare or a hybrid between. The fact I would love for them to have Blue Marvel. I mean, now they're saying that there's rumors that John Boyega was on set and that he's going to be Blue Marvel, but that's a rumor. I mean,
yeah,
we've heard everything. We think we're going to get Magneto. We're going to get this. We're going to get that.
That Luke Skywalker cameo.
Yeah. Now we're hearing that. Yeah. Well, someone said that one of the bads was actually voiced by Mark Hamill. Yeah. So wouldn't that be weird if Mark Hamill actually showed up as the bad guy? That would definitely be a Luke Skywalker type of cameo. Yeah. But
I think you're right too. I think Kevin Feige's probably sitting back just tickled watching. Yeah, I wonder if they just surf YouTube all day watching Marvel videos, just tickled like, look at all these things. And people like, it's not even anything close to this, guys. This is great though.
You would think that he would, because a lot of them had fun after it was all done. The directors, Kevin Feige, they would all just duck into a theater and watch everybody's, expressions and their reactions. So I bet, oh, he's loving this because
Yeah.
really he took a risk. You know, there's so much, that wasn't explained to us in each episode, and it would make more sense to binge this show. But Disney doesn't do that, and they took a risk because, and I think it's paid off because, like you said, there's a million people out there online, um, streaming and everything, wanting to know, going bonkers, and it's water cooler fodder, and it's a built-in ad.
Hmm.
If this guy is so excited about it, I've got Disney Plus. Maybe I'll check this out. Or if that guy's so excited about it, maybe I'll get Disney Plus. Well, you mean these are the same characters that are in the movie? Well, maybe I need to get Disney Plus. We're all freaking out. Like a few months ago, I watched Netflix. I watched Cobra Kai, and we were extremely excited. 2 weeks later, we stopped talking about it.
Right.
For 9 weeks, all we can talk about is WandaVision, especially
Hmm.
after episode 4, when they went back and it wasn't a TV thing, and they actually showed what was going on, when it was going on, and why it was going on. It didn't answer, of course, it didn't answer, it asked more questions than it answered, but
Right.
still, we got some questions answered, and everybody is going crazy. We can't stop talking about that. Now, Disney, the only thing that they're really showing nonstop, getting ready for the ads is Falcon and Winter Soldier. So they know that they've got us for 6 more weeks.
Right.
Hopefully, some way, somehow, we're going to get Black Widow, and then we're going to go right into Loki, and then
Yeah.
from Loki, we're going to go into whatever they've got planned. We know that they're out there, but we know there's movies out there. We don't know exactly how they're going to do it at this moment, but we
Right.
know that everything is being filmed right now, or have been filmed, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of wondering too, because I thought wasn't Shang-Chi supposed to come out like next year, and it almost seems like that's coming even sooner. I don't know why. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
well,
I feel like it is, but
they were
I don't know.
saying it was going to
Maybe it's
be
just
out here
maybe.
this summer this year, right?
I'm not for sure at this point. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It seems like they like all this especially this last year has kind of moved everything around because I mean originally Black Widow was supposed to have come out. We're already supposed to have had WandaVision, which should have been over already, and Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been here and over already. Um, yeah, and I honestly, I'm kind of like, and I think that's the thing. I think they almost take advantage of the fact that so many of us are probably still sitting here going like, oh, I don't even know what the release dates of these movies are yet. I just know they're coming.
That's right. That's it. And you look back to it too. I think it was supposed to be Black Widow, and then it was supposed to be Falcon and Winter Soldier. And they talked about that they had to refilm some of the things because maybe it was the virus or something. But we were supposed to get that last fall, and then they switched it where they brought in WandaVision before that show. And then the Eternals was supposed to be out last November, so now they're going to put that in November. I don't know because I know we're getting Spider-Man. You're right. I don't know. Now I'm sure there's somebody in chat telling us what the order is,
Yeah,
but we
probably so.
don't know.
Yeah,
But we know we're getting it. We know
yeah,
they have filmed it. We know that they're either finished with it or it's mid production or whatever happened. We know we're getting it, and we know that Kevin Feige is sitting there playing chess with the other studios, and he may or may not save the theaters, but he has got us hooked. Like day one. I tell you what, Trini, I'll bring it up again. When you're sitting there after WandaVision 1, or 2, I thought when we got both episodes, I thought it was neat. But you, because of the comic book knowledge that you have, it was just a joy to see you just going. I'm like, wow, you know, I've been hanging around Trinity for almost a year now, but now I finally get to see the new stuff, the stuff that we wanted to see. We're getting
Yeah.
content now, and now I get
Yes.
to see Trinity on steroids, and that's what
Yes.
it is.
Definitely, yeah, and because that's kind of the thing is like this whole last year has just been really and it's really not even just with MCU. It's with all things movies and all that stuff. Nobody's had anything really to talk about other than all these rumors of stuff that was in production. We don't know what stage of production at this point now, and now we're actually got something to sink our teeth into. Not just teasers, not just this is coming out, that's coming out, and all that. Like we actually have something to go off of now. And yeah, it's great too. And that's kind of, that for me, that's one of the things that made me start this channel was watching videos like that with people doing theory videos and stuff. As we know, like most of those guys, they do their theory videos like kind of culty, one of the best ones out there, that does all these, like with the shows you the videos and like little slideshows and stuff. And like I love that stuff, but like I don't have the time for all that. Like I'll just put my face on camera and I'll flap my gums about it. But everybody loves seeing all the videos and stuff. I know maybe I'd have more viewers if I did that. But then people probably don't want to see that same video play over and over for like 90 minutes while I nerd out.
Well, I speak for myself. I like the joy that you bring, and that's and that's exactly, just like every time when you do a regular stream before this, I feel like I'm laughing along with you. I say something in chat, you're laughing, I'm laughing at home, and I think that's what we need. We need the joy of, you and I are very excited about what the MCU is doing, and we need to convey that because we're not alone. That there are a few people that think that Disney, it doesn't hit them that way, but the majority of us, really respect the quality or like I would say connectivity, but you say the connective tissue, that we're getting.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to be canceled.
Nah, you're all good. You're all good. Oh man. Yeah, and yeah, I'm excited for just for the whole future. So what all are you expecting out of these next couple of episodes, Mike?
So what I think, episode 8, we're going to get some history. Hopefully we're going to figure out where the kids are. Hopefully we're going to figure out what is going on with Quicksilver and Monica. Um, you know, um, what is Agnes, and what's the next step that Wanda says to Agatha after she found out who Agatha is? And I think we're going to get some backstory, some back flashes. Excuse me, I almost canceled myself. Some back flashes. Try to figure out what's going on. I think we're going to get some answers, some questions answered, and I think that we may get a little bit of a battle, but I think mainly it's the setup for what we're going to get in 9. So I think we're going to get some answers in this episode, and then it's going to be just action in episode 9. Now, if it's a 2-hour movie, I mean, you can have all of that. You can have setup and you can have a couple of scenes of action, but I think for the main part is questions are going to be answered, and then we're going to have the battle royale that Paul Bettany has promised us.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, and I also kind of feel like if they did do like one of those big old long episodes like that, I almost feel like because like you're saying that is like a movie. I feel like if they do that, it almost makes it completely like, okay, well, why do I even need to go back and watch any of those episodes? I'll just watch this last episode that's 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever
True.
or whatever. Is kind of is how I think a lot of people would feel about that. Definitely. Let's see. Robert St. Clair says, why is nobody else? I want to say what's up to the Widow as well. Seen the Widow show up, Phantom Stranger, Will Gentry, MP Koch, Dog School. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's see. Robert St. Clair says, why is nobody else talking, or why is nobody else showing up to this anomaly? The hex expands. We see people's homes now, and it's still just Sword's little camp of agents and trucks. This is also suspiciously isolated. Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's easily, yeah. I think that's something certainly to question but for me, I think part of the thing is because it comes down to the other thing you were mentioning earlier with the cops in the chat there, Robert, where the cops were saying, look, there is no Westview. We're from Eastview. Maybe that's kind of part of it. Maybe as much as they came off kind of like, we're like, dude, I do not believe these dudes. Maybe they were actually completely being honest. Maybe Westview doesn't exist. Maybe they have no clue. They probably didn't see that street sign. They probably didn't see the houses. They probably didn't see any of that. And maybe nobody has any clue about any of that, because it would be a lot like New Salem was in the comics, where it was a town that was off the map and nobody knew about it, and you kind of had to know about it to get there. Very, very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Doctor. It's like I think Doctor Strange is aware of it, and you would think that if it was something like that, that a team of Avengers would show up. But we don't know. If they're teamed up right now, we don't know. What the Avengers are up to. But this is definitely an Avengers level, because I've talked about Inside the Hex with the cosmic band radiation, the Big Bang radiation, which is not a made-up thing. That is a real thing. They have found radiation that dates back to the Big Bang. In the MCU, we know that with the Big Bang, the Infinity Stones were made. Now, I'm not saying the Infinity Stones is inside the Hex, but inside the Hex with that Big Bang cosmic microwave radiation, that the Infinity Stones can be at least imitated. And we've seen it in everything. And you could say, well, she's just powerful and she's just controlling. But we've seen the time, we've seen power, we've seen the Mind Stone, we've seen the majority of the stones in there, and it's at least being imitated. So if you have that kind of power going on, you would think that the whole world, the galactic world, and everybody would be running to try to stop that, because this looks like an Avengers level, but it's going back to what you're saying. It's kind of kept secretly. The only one that I think that really could be aware of it would be Doctor Strange, and we may or may not get him. That's another thing too. That's another rumor.
Yeah. Let's see. Will Gentry says, why? For any reason? You just pulled a number. Will Gentry, yeah, I just pulled a number out of my ass. It was that's really what it was. Because I figure each of these series will just introduce us to 4 new characters or so. It was just a number. It really was just a number. Because I figured there's got to be some sort of a minimum for the amount of characters they're going to introduce. And I figured, because they don't want, because they're, with these series, and I'd say it may be more, because these shows are meant to expand the universe of the MCU. I mean, they're going to be bringing all these characters in fast, and I mean, if you think about it, like I said, we've got Agatha that we've been introduced to here. We've got Monica Rambeau, who, while we weren't really introduced to her here, we're kind of getting the groundwork of her character here. I'm really getting to know her. Same with Agnes, and I mean, what other characters have we had? I mean, obviously Jimmy Woo is being expanded. We're kind of learning Tyler Hayward here. And I think that's what it will be doing, is giving us at least a minimum of 4 to carry on. And Will also asks, will one of you comic stands tell this normie who or what Blue Marvel is, please? I'll be honest with you, Will. I'm not very familiar with Blue Marvel in the comics at all. I I've read some comics with him in there. All I know is like he's like a scientist. He's super smart, and he's super OP. His powers or anything like that, I will not confess to even know the first
I
thing
looked it
beyond
up.
that.
Yeah, I looked it up because when I was reading the comics, it was big time between 2003 and 2010, and I think he came after that, and I think he has kind of like Superman powers. I do believe from what I've read. If I remember, you know, when you get as old as this boomer, I forget everything. But from what I understand, he's very powerful, and I'm sure there's somebody. I'm sure Trev is there telling us.
Probably so. Yeah. Well, I don't know. He might be hanging out at After Dark now. He might be hanging out. I forgot they were going on. I didn't even get a notification that they went live, and they've probably been live since 6 o'clock. Since 6, they probably weren't late like I was. um, let's see. MP Koch says, "I'd love to see the villains Arcade and Mojo after WandaVision. So hype." Yeah, and they've been kind of rumored to maybe. Well, I know people have been kind of suspecting that maybe Mojo might have something to do with everything going on here. But yeah, Arcade and Mojo would definitely be interesting characters to bring into the MCU, and they could actually very well, like, especially you can take a look at some of the stuff going on here and easily think that, hey, they could be in charge of some of the stuff going on here. Arcade being the guy that sets up these elaborate things for people to get out of, like an arcade game, if you will. And then Mojo, who does a lot of like similar kind of stuff. And I won't confess to be familiar with Mojo, but I do know that he does a lot of that kind of stuff, like show kind of stuff, like TV kind of things, like we're getting out of this series. Definitely. Romeo says, "People at Marvel are fans like we are, like scrolls. They walk among us."
True.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. And Dixie is in the chat, says, "Steroids cause male baldness." I know. You know what it was for me? It was like I think it was speed more than steroids. Like I think it was like doing too much of that stuff back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you just scared me. Now I've got nightmares. I better just stay up and watch WandaVision because that face, that's haunting. Anyway.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at here? I'm okay. Robert St. Clair says, "Coffee cups Jimmy Woo brought in. They were the same brand coffee as the place. Same one as the Eastview cop was drinking." Yeah, and that would make sense. I mean, because apparently there was nowhere else around for miles anyway. Black with down arrows that were red and blue. Very odd since we haven't seen any food places. Yeah, right, yeah. And, they could have been from Eastview, the same thing, I mean, and they had the same pattern as what we see at the end of the show as well. Lots of interesting stuff. Ridiculous Thought says Blue Marble would be a great addition to the MCU. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I won't confess to know, about the character or anything, but just the stuff I've heard, I mean, he'd be a good character to bring in, especially with, some of the, and that's the thing is in the MCU, how they've kind of dwarfed some of the characters a little bit. It makes me wonder how much they would do that in this case. ReeferMan says Blue Marvel is old school, but recently came back in a run of the Ultimates. All right. We'll take his word for it. Hey, ReeferMan knows.
Yes.
Yeah. Jonathan says, "Got time for another call in?" Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, call in, dude. Yeah, the link it should be there on the community wall. ReeferMan says, "Keep it green." Yes. XR Coon says Blue Marble is a living antimatter reactor and was a hero in the 60s that was forced to retire by government due to racism, and eventually came out of retirement when his friend and rival Anti-Man came back. Okay. All right.
Cool.
Oh, he also says everybody's getting more OP in the MCU now, huh? All right. All right. I know he's talking about Captain Marvel there, his favorite character. I'm not sure if you guys knew, but XR Kun is a huge Captain Marvel fan. And I would say in the MCU, he's definitely a Captain Marvel stan. You know, as much as me and Mike Porter stan for the MCU, XR Kun stands for Captain Marvel in the MCU.
Some tells me that that might be a little bit of sarcasm.
Not from me.
Hey, I have another question that hopefully will get answered. Jimmy Woo said in the very beginning that he was following the person that, the person of interest that he was doing protected. So hopefully that's going to be taken care of.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing is that, that missing person, who is that missing person? And it's also weird, too, like, why does Sword care so much about the FBI and wanting to help them with their missing persons case? Very interesting.
Yeah, they want Vision.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a whole lot of questions surrounding all of that. I mean, how'd Wanda end up in that town? What are all the other people there in that town? If these are witches, which I mean, it seems kind of obvious, almost like Westview is like New Salem, and there's a whole lot of this stuff going on there, and people don't know about it, kind of like New Salem, kind of like Pleasant Hill, also.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. I'm not
There you
off my
go.
Pleasant Hill thing. I'm still not off of that.
Yeah, it's still live.
Yeah, because that's what I'm seeing here. Like, okay, if people are stuck in there and they can get in, they can go out. You know, who knows what else is really going on. While, like I said, it could be one of those situations where they were, if it is like Pleasant Hill, where they had this prison and everything is going on, then all of a sudden it doesn't take much for things to get out of your control, and then next thing you know, you're sitting there like, let's call in Jimmy Woo and say that like we've got a missing person.
Also, too, I believe that Covenant was there all along. The dungeon that she goes in, the basement, I
Yeah.
think that was there all along. That might be the center of the hex. And then another thing, halfway through the show, Hayward said that they were about to launch, and we never saw that. So it might open up. Episode 8 might open up with that launch. Who knows? Who knows where they're going to go? They may just keep that to episode 9. So,
Right.
but we know that's coming.
Yeah, and like I said, there's just so much ground to cover in these last couple of episodes, and which is something I guess. But before we go, maybe I'll ask you thoughts on that. Is we've had this speculation and these rumors about these big cameos coming up. And the more and more time has gone on, I've kind of thought it's this person, it's that person, it could be all these different people. And the closer it's gotten, the more I've gotten in here and been reading more and more comics and all this stuff, there's some very big possibilities just from the stuff in the comic books that I've read that could be that cameo, that big cameo. One of them would obviously be a huge one, and I think it's maybe just a little bit out there, but totally possible considering everything we've seen, would be Fantastic Four. I think that's possible. Not going to happen, though. But it's here over the past couple weeks, especially after last week, started to really make me think that the cameo might very well be actually maybe 2 people showing up. And I think it might actually be Professor X and Magneto, possibly both, showing up there to help stop everything that's going on there, or to kind of help alleviate the situation, because it's not going to stop there. Obviously, we know that from everything going on. It's not going to stop there, but to step in and take over for this situation. Maybe at the very end of the episode, as things, like I said, maybe Wanda and Vision are actually sitting there going at it, and there's more than, obviously more things are going on, and maybe they show up after all of that, after that fight and all that destruction. Wanda's going to be crushed even more, and I think maybe that is when that we're gonna get the cameo. I think it's gonna be Magneto, Professor Xavier. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I would love that. I hope that's it. We haven't really seen any leaked pictures of them. So Disney's either doing a good job. Everything else has been pretty much leaked. We knew that the actor who played the Fox Quicksilver, I can't think of his name right now. We knew he was going to be in the show. Evan Peters, right? We knew that he was going to be there, and I'm still hoping for Doctor Strange, but I'm not so sure if we're going to get that. Now there's a lot of fake trailers out there that is showing Doctor Strange, but it's old footage of his first movie. So I think the big play would be Magneto and Professor X. That would be very exciting. But it goes back to what Trev's saying. Think of all these characters that we've already gotten. We did get Monica Rambeau. We did get a Quicksilver. We've gotten all the characters that are on there. So you add a Blue Marvel. You add, Professor X, Magneto, Doctor Strange. I don't think we're going to get everybody, unfortunately, but I think it's going to be entertaining, no matter what we get. Now, is Jonathan holding? I didn't want to.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see. Did he? Oh, okay. He did make it into the chat.
I'm in here holding. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just don't worry about it. I'm listening in. I'm feeding my son dinner. Doing the adult things right now.
Oh, adult.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I love listening to Mike's theories, so it's all good, and the excitement and everything you guys bring to the community is always fun. So it's a pleasure to be on and join the stream. You don't have to put my video on. I'll probably drop that out. I just wanted to give you someone to look at there, Trinity.
Fair enough. So what's on your mind tonight, man? What's up?
Oh, I love where you guys are going with all the theories about who's going to come in and the possibilities there. So there's so many characters on the plate, and I think to really anchor the show, give it like that a piece of Marvel history. It's like the first TV show is going to have some keystone element like that. It's already given us so much. Agnes, the birth of Agnes, the birth of Monica, but where is it going to go as far as like villains, or at least leading into a villain? I think is going to be the next big thing. And I honestly have I don't think it's going to be the Mephisto thing. I'm not sure where they're going to go though. It's pretty confusing overall. I love the theories with the Williams brothers and their characters, their alter egos. Those are really intriguing. And I think so much is rooted in the comics, but it's going to be modified and Feige-ified up to be put into the MCU, that it's going to be a little bit different. Everyone's like, oh, I told you it was this comic. But it's like really, they put all the comics in a blender and they make something out of the pulp.
Right. Yeah, that's my meat.
Yeah, right. It's the McRib of pop culture, basically. So.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just again, it's been great to watch this whole thing unfold before us all too. And yeah, just like you said, just seeing everybody kind of like you're saying, building the excitement, everybody coming together and talking about it it's been great. It's been great. So do you have any theories of anything getting ready to come out of these next 2 episodes?
It seems like so many people theories right now have gone from plot points to episode length. I love hearing about that. Sorry, my kid just finished his dinner. So I think some of the stuff, obviously the villain reveal, the cameo thing is just going to be a surprise. That quote has been so misconstrued to be something it's not. So it's just like the fact that there's a surprise cameo is all we're getting. It's not like this. It has to be on Omega level, Luke Skywalker level, anyone level character. It's just that they've kept it a secret, like they did with Luke appearance. So all they've done is kept a secret. We have no idea what this person is even going to do. It could be a Dick Van Dyke appearing at the end and doing a dance. Who knows, right? So we really have what it's going to be. It might not even be anything. It might be a throwaway cameo. and they just built it up so much hype, and now the actors are like, oh my gosh, like all the fans are so focused on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be a total red herring.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's kind of the things that we do sometimes as fans is we hype ourselves too much up for something because somebody, probably took something out of context and was like, "Oh my god, like we're going to get this." And then it's like, "Oh, well, it wasn't really that." And everybody ends up being disappointed. There was another thing. Yeah.
I'm not going to be disappointed by the end of the show. I think it's already given so much excitement, and like you guys said about the week-to-week stuff, it just gives so much to talk about.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every minute.
I think one of the other things I wanted to mention too was there was a while back, I think it was last week, a couple weeks ago, I had that conversation with Gray, and one of the things I mentioned in the video and when we were talking was there's this thing I noticed throughout the series: strawberries. There's a lot of strawberries placed throughout this series. In episode 1, I'm pretty sure it was a strawberry that the boss was choking on. And I've just noticed it in other various places throughout this series. Strawberries just seem to be a thing here. And then I remembered not too long ago. I mean, it would have been last year, obviously, sometime. I just started to remember, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. This video that Elizabeth Olsen did on her Instagram, and I remember Eric Voss over at New Rockstars did a breakdown video with some crazy theory about it, where she was going on about her garden and these strawberries in the garden and all of this kinds of stuff. And then it just dawned on me, I think just this afternoon, I was like, dude, she was talking about the strawberries, and I've been coming up with this thing with the strawberries throughout the series, seeing these strawberries in here, and I don't know what the hell those strawberries are doing in this damn series because they're placed there in some very conspicuous places. Very conspicuous places.
Well, I mean, it's the only thing I can think of is it would be the one fruit that would be like the powers that she has, the red powers and everything like that. I really don't know the significance. I know that Will Morgan was talking about the lobsters and what kind of significance it had. And it was funny that it was the last episode that Darcy said, if you're going to take me out, I'm getting the lobster.
Yep.
And I immediately thought about episode 1.
Yep,
and it probably is not connected at all, but that's the way we're going now.
Yeah.
His reaction, Will's reaction must have been priceless.
Dude, he was probably sitting there like watching football, bro. He's probably like, touchdown! He's like, yeah.
He probably jumped out of his seat. I love it. Oh, fucking lobsters!
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I wish I could be up for his stream tonight, man. I still gotta rewatch last week's episode because Will Morgan, dude, he's freaking great, man. He's freaking great. I've been loving his content that he's been doing with those streams and everything, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing is he's had the mailman on twice, and we're all looking, especially after episode 7, where the mailman becomes the delivery man, and we go, oh, he's in on it. There he is playing a role, just like Dottie is and others are. I don't think it's all Agatha, but I think Agatha is the ringleader, and I think these others do play a role. He's just, as the kids say, he's just sus, the way he shows up and the way, where he walks and everything.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Hopefully we're going to get some answers tonight.
Yeah. Jason is here from Polyhedral Paradice, says it's going to be Mark Hamill playing somebody. You know what? Here's what it's going to be. Oh, what happened there? Oh no. Did we lose somebody? Oh, okay. It's going to be Mark Hamill playing Al Pacino playing Mephisto. Yep, it's going to be a dude playing a dude playing a dude. Oh, man. Gray, how are you doing? I hope all is going well with you. Hope all you heard me calling your name, didn't you? Let's see. Strawberries pizza. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. She was in her garden talking about strawberries. Yeah. Yeah, she was remember? See, Gray remembers too. She probably watched that same Eric Voss video. And you know what? I guess this will be the one time where I'm going to go steal Eric Voss's stuff, not him stealing mine. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I'm glad somebody else remembers that too, because I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going crazy. Oh yeah, yeah. XR says yeah, Hamill's Nightmare. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. But it would be weird though. Like, is he just gonna be like the voice? Is it just gonna be like an animated thing coming on? Because I mean, I can't like look, like unless they're gonna show like Nightmare being all looking like Mark Hamill. I mean, did they get Mark Hamill on that Marvel diet over these past few months? Oh man.
True.
ReeferMan says Mephisto is sexless. He will be portrayed by a she. Ooh.
There you go.
Dang. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, who's that woman from Saturday Night Live you're all the time saying that is going to play a part? What's her name? I can't think of her name. Maybe she's Mephisto.
Leslie Jones Mephisto.
Yes, yes. Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones Mephisto. Or maybe Leslie Jones playing Dick Van Dyke playing Mephisto. Will Gentry says...
playing a dude playing a dude.
Yeah. Will Gentry says you're wrong. It's going to be Sebastian Stan playing Mark Hamill playing Luke Skywalker.
Oh, how hilarious. That's funny.
Oh, man. Okay, Robert St. Clair is bringing us back around. He's bringing us back down. He says, pool party meeting was under a canopy that was hexagon shaped too, I believe. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and again, so much of the stuff is so they do a lot of that, and I know the whole thing with that too is it's made people go back and and believe me, I'm one of those people too. Start theorizing about everything. You see the hexagons there, so you go back and you watch all the Marvel movies and you look for hexagons everywhere, and you notice hexagons are everywhere in the MCU. And that's why I like when people started doing the whole chase for the hexagons things, I'm like, no. I don't think it's just that, because they literally are everywhere in the MCU. I think it just happens to be something that has a cool pattern for a lot of stuff, and it just happens to, and they've used it in a lot of cases. But I do also think that the hexagons, in some instances, do actually have a significant meaning in that. And maybe in some way they're all tied together in some sort of way, where in other instances just like we just used hexagons just because it was a pattern. Oh man. Yeah. Hexagons are the bestagon. All right. Well, probably going to bring the stream to an end here in a minute. I'm going to go get some dinner in me and get ready to hit the sack and be ready for WandaVision. Do you have any last things before we go, Mike?
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you. I can't see the chat, but thanks for everybody listening to this old boomer, excited about the MCU. Thank you for having me on, Trinity, and thank you for letting me become a member. And, guys, membership has its privileges. Maybe you want to join and we can help comic books and everything like that. Fun comic books. But I'm having fun. And I don't even know what time it is, but I guess we're less than 5 hours away from...
Yeah.
And this is game day. Everybody have fun. This is right now we're tailgating. We're getting ready for our nerd event. This is our big event. Like Harry Potter watches the national Quidditch. We're watching WandaVision. This is our huge event. So everybody enjoy themselves and have a great time.
Yes, and get ready. This would be the division championships that we are going into today before this great Super Bowl. Oh, can we say that? I don't know if we can say
True.
it before we get the big
Oh,
game.
the big game. The big game.
Next week. But again, thank you all so much for being here. I hope you're all having a very good day. Make sure you guys go check out our good friends over at the Den of Nerds Live. Al and Lavis are over there doing the After Dark show. I guarantee you they're already having a good time without us. Make sure you go check them out, and make sure that you watch WandaVision. Tomorrow morning I will be here live with Chillmonger talking about it. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.